Okay, we are live, and we've got a multi-cam setup here today where we're taking a look at the, hopefully that's not reversed. It's looking reversed. Everything's looking reversed on my live feed right now. Hopefully you guys are seeing it the right way. But okay, so here's what we're going to do here today. Welcome to my office/studio. Hopefully you guys can hear me okay. I've got kind of new cameras set up, new switcher set up here, new microphones, audio, all of this stuff. And hopefully it all works and comes together. But today what we're going to do, or attempt to do, is unbox this right here. This is the Amazfit T-Rex Pro. Now, this last year, Amazfit released the T-Rex. And the idea behind this device is that Amazfit is trying to compete with Garmin. They have been kind of releasing some products that offer a lot of the same feature sets that you would get in a Garmin device at a fraction of the cost. And so with the Amazfit T-Rex line, they're trying to kind of compete with the higher end Garmin devices that have GLONASS, high-end GPS, devices that are very durable, have long battery life. So again, I'll kind of go over to this camera here, and you guys can see here what we're getting ready to take a look at here. Now, unfortunately, I never got a hands-on experience with the original T-Rex. So this is the T-Rex Pro. This was just released this last week. And so I'm really excited to see how this stacks up based on, kind of the experience that I've had with Garmin devices, because I've been very impressed with what Amazfit has done in the past. And so if everything that they've done in the past is any indicator as to what this is going to be like, I'm going to be pretty happy with it. They didn't send this to me. I did buy this with my own money. In fact, any review that you see here on this channel, either the product was sent to me on loan and I have to send it back, or I probably buy 60-70% of the products that you see featured here on this show. And it's just mostly to try to keep the integrity of this show or this channel up, where I don't really want to be paid for my reviews directly from Garmin, Fitbit, some of those makers, just because I feel like it dilutes my content. I don't want them to dictate what I think about a product, or to influence that at all. So yeah, again, here, switching back over, we've got the Amazfit T-Rex Pro, and all we're going to be doing here today is simply an unboxing. I don't know a whole lot about this product, so we're going to kind of take this journey here together. And then over the next 2 weeks, I'm going to be reviewing this in the gym. I'm gently kind of recuperating from some health issues from pneumonia, and I'm going to be easing back into the gym and testing this out to see, how it compares against, some other watches that are kind of in the ballpark or similar kind of design concept. So, okay, let's go ahead and just dive right in then on the review. Feel free to leave any questions. I am kind of monitoring the questions on my computer here as we talk, and I'll be happy to answer any of those. But yeah, the Amazfit T-Rex Pro on the side here, I don't know if you can see that, but it says here that it's got a 1.3-inch AMOLED display. It does have an O2 sensor on it, similar to the Apple Watch. It's kind of all the rage these days, is getting a watch with an O2 sensor. The Apple Watch is the only one so far that I've seen that was even remotely accurate. We've also got, it says here, 100 plus sports modes. My understanding is that the original T-Rex watch had maybe about 20 or 30. So this has a lot more sports profiles built in for tracking a wide variety of different exercises. And then it says here that it's got ultra long battery life. And, I've read differing reports as to how long that's going to be, but I'm hoping that we're going to get at least 3 days, maybe a maximum of 7, but I'd be probably guessing I'm going to get 5. If I had to put money on it, I'm going to say 5 days worth of battery life, which honestly is pretty good. A lot of the Garmin watches that are out there get you about 5 days a week worth of battery life in, with all of the sensors and all of the modes turned on. Most of these watches, you can get that ultra long battery life by disabling some of the features. I try not to do that for my reviews, because that doesn't really give you a true picture of what it's like to use the watch on the day-to-day basis. So I keep all the notifications and everything turned on for my reviews. Taking a look at the other side of the box, it says here at the top that it's military specification or military standard, so it's a mil-spec device. I don't know what they mean by that. Garmin has released watches before that were mil-spec or military specifications that, I guess meet or exceed certain military specifications. I don't know exactly what that means, but basically it just means that it's a durable device. It's rugged. It can withstand a lot. It says here that it's got precision positioning, so basically GPS with GLONASS. We've also got water resistance up to 100 meters with built-in sensors, including the altimeter, barometer, and compass. So, all right, let's go ahead and dive right in. And again, I have not unboxed this yet. This was literally delivered to my door probably about 20 minutes ago. So I thought, well, let's go ahead and fire up all the gear. So I, ran back into the office with this box and wanted to do an unboxing video with you guys right away, since it's been a long time since I've done any sort of unboxing or live video for that matter, or even any sort of wearable review. I've done a few other reviews kind of in the interim as I've tried to heal, but from all the illnesses that I've had. But this is the first time I'm kind of diving back into the wearable world. So let's go ahead and take a look here at what we've got in the box. Okay. So we'll discard that to the side. And then it looks like we've just got here this box. Pretty plain and simple here. Opening it up. I really like the color scheme and the color options that they're offering here. So that looks really sharp. I really like the look of that. It's got kind of a sticker on there right now to kind of be the placeholder, since there's, the screen's not turned on. But it looks like that polycarbonate plastic design that we've seen Garmin use for a long time. So I kind of like that. It seems cheap to go with plastic, but a lot of times these plastics, they're lighter than if you're wearing a metal watch, and they're in many ways more durable, especially once you get into wet elements. So let's peel off that. And let's see here, what else we want to look at. On the back, we've got this pretty robust looking heart rate sensor. I'm going to open this up so we can take a look. So yeah, you can see there's a lot going on in the back. Mick mentioned here that plastic doesn't scratch easily. That's another factor as well. If you're taking this into rugged situations, plastic's not going to scratch as easily as metal might. So these bands here they look like they're probably standard watch strap bands, but you may need a tool to get these off because there's not any sort of quick disconnect option on the back here. Garmin a lot of times has gone with their quick disconnect straps, which I like. And it looks like Amazfit kind of cheaped out there, and I'm not seeing any sort of quick disconnect option for the straps. So that's a little disappointing to see. I would have liked to have the option to maybe replace these straps. It looks like there's some sort of weird hex screws on the side here. I don't know. Let's check the box and see if they've given us any sort of tools where we could remove some of that stuff. So just dump all this out. This looks like this is just paperwork there, so we'll tuck that back away. Not really interested in that. And then over here we go. We're getting to some business now. Still not seeing any sort of tool in here. Yeah, there's nothing in there other than it looks like we've just got a charging cradle. So we'll open that up. And again, this is my first experience with this, seeing this at all. So we'll set that over here. So we've got kind of this little tiny charging cradle here. One end standard USB. Would have been nice to see a USB-C, but I get that a lot of people still haven't kind of fully switched over to USB-C as a standard yet. So we got a USB-C on this side, standard USB on this side. And then we've got this little tiny charging cradle here, and it looks like it's probably magnetic. So we've got a couple of metallic pins right here on the back, and I'm guessing this just, oops. So it looks like it's definitely goes on one specific way. I could feel the magnets fighting. Okay. So there we go. There's the charging cradle. Not a super strong magnet, but strong enough to hold it up, I suppose. So there's the charging cradle. And then it looks like on the back, we've got probably 2 heart rate sensors. Well, one of them could be, I guess, the O2 sensor, and the other one could be the sensor that's used for tracking active heart rate during exercise with your respective LEDs. Then those other 2 dots on the back here are just the magnetic charging contacts for the charger. So we've got that. Okay. And then in terms of the screen, we've got a nice glass screen here. Looks like it's going to be a fingerprint magnet, probably. And then the buttons on the watch, there appear to be 4 buttons here. It says up, down, select, and back. So I'll hold that up so you guys can see that. It's a nice looking watch. I actually do really like all of the build design, all the design, accents that they have on here. Even the watch straps with a little bit of gray on them, or a darker colored kind of aqua blue. I think that looks nice. And then you can see here the buttons kind of have, they're actually metal buttons. So the body is, that hard polycarbonate body. But then on the side, these buttons are metal and they have little serrations. I don't know if you'll be able to see that or not. But nice serrations there for easily finding a button without having to look at it. So it's a good looking watch. So yeah, again, this watch is designed by Amazfit to try to compete with Garmin. Garmin's got a lot of really nice watches. They're expensive. Amazfit is kind of trying to take a little bit of market share by offering people the same feature sets that you would get with a Garmin at a significantly lower price point. So I can't remember. I'm going to have to look here on Amazon and find out what I paid for this watch. Let me see here. Pull up my orders. So I paid, how much did I pay for this watch? Let's see here. Well, okay, there we go. I paid $179.99, $180. Not bad. So for a watch that's got an O2 sensor, optical heart rate sensor on it, built-in GPS with GLONASS, long battery life, and is made out of this very durable design, for under $200, that's pretty impressive. Pretty much anything of this kind of build quality, look, and aesthetic coming from Garmin would be at least $300, if not more than that. The display on this looks nice and big. And compared to my Apple Watch, I'll switch back over here to the tabletop view. You can kind of see here, compared to with my Apple Watch, it's a decent size. You can see my Apple Watch is getting ready to die. So obviously a little bit bulkier than the Apple Watch, a little bit, thicker as well. But that's to kind of be expected for, an outdoor GPS watch. So pretty excited. What makes it pro? Okay, sorry, Tony, I didn't see that question come in. What makes it pro? So really all they've done is they took the T-Rex version of the watch. They're re-releasing it with some additional features. The biggest thing, per my understanding, is that they've added a bunch of new sports profiles. The original watch had about 20 to 30 sports profiles. The new one has 100 plus. And then I also believe that the Pro version has a better water rating. I think the other one may have been rated up to like 50 meters. And then this one is rated up to 10 atmospheres or 100 meters, which means it's going to be a little bit better for more aggressive water sports, for surfing, for actual maybe like surface shallow level diving. It's going to be a little bit more durable and hold up a little bit better than than some of the or than the precursor to it. I'm going to pull up here actually the Amazfit. Well, I'll go to Amazon and pull up the Amazfit T-Rex, and I'll see if there's any specs that I can see here on the fly that are a little bit different. The pricing is pretty different. The original T-Rex right now sells for $109 on Amazon, whereas the T-Rex Pro is $70 more. Okay, the original T-Rex only has 14 sports modes on it compared to the 100 plus. It appears to have the exact same display. The original does have GPS. However, I don't know that the original has GLONASS on it. The new one definitely does. They're saying here that both of these watches will get about, let's see here, 20-day battery life. I'm really skeptical about that. That seems like maybe you would get 20-day battery life if you turned off a lot of the features. I would imagine that it would be less than that if you're using it daily and tapping into the GPS and using the optical heart rate sensor and all of those kinds of things. So yeah, they're saying here that it does only have, the original one only has 5 atmospheres of water resistance, whereas the new one has 10 atmospheres. So yes. So they've moderately upgraded it, same basic design and look. They've given it a little bit better GPS, a few more sports modes. They've made it the waterproofing capabilities on it a little bit more robust. They've added the oxygen sensor, the O2 sensor on this. So they've made some little modest upgrades here and there. That said, the original was only $109 and this one's $179. And either way, whichever version of the watch you went with, it's significantly cheaper than a lot of the Garmin counterparts that are out there. So that's something to consider. Does it have internal storage? It does not appear to have any sort of internal storage. Now, if you mean internal storage, like it's going to be tracking your metrics and storing your metrics, yeah, it'll do that. And then once you pair it with your phone or come within Bluetooth range of your phone, it'll dump, all of that data to the app. It does have a companion app that works with the watch. So there's that. If you're referring to onboard storage for things like listening to music for streaming, it does not appear to have that feature. I don't see here anywhere where it's got the ability to connect with Bluetooth headphones, for example, to stream music coming from the device. Now, that said, it may have the ability to have music controls on the watch. A lot of Amazfit's watches in the past that I've reviewed will have music controls so that if you're listening to music streaming from your phone and have your phone in your pocket, say, listening to headphones, you can control like skip tracks, pause a track and stuff like that using the watch, but it's not going to have built-in storage for storing the music and playback directly to headphones or anything like that. So yeah, trying to see what else we've got here. Yeah, I mean, it's a modest upgrade. It's not a huge upgrade over the original T-Rex, but this T-Rex Pro here, we'll go back to this camera just to keep it interesting. It does just look like a watch that I think looks like it's worth every bit of $180, especially when you look at what Garmin's been doing with their prices. So, I mean, I'm really impressed with this build quality here. This really does feel like a solid, durable plastic with a nice display, buttons that have those metallic buttons with serrations on the side. I mean, it all looks really good. My only complaint, again, is just really, I would have liked to have seen watch straps that have a quick disconnect watch strap so you can, pair it with some third-party watch straps. And I imagine you can do that, but it just looks like, to me, let me do kind of a close-up look here. Gosh, I don't know. Yeah, those are hex, like really tiny hex screws. So you can't really see it on camera, probably. I don't think this camera has like a macro ability, but you might be able to see that it looks like it needs some kind of hex screw to, get those watch straps off. So not a big fan of that. I would have liked to have seen, the quick disconnects, but, $179, it's not a bad price point, and I'll take a few sacrifices on the part of Amazfit to get a watch down to that price point and offer everything that they're offering. So, so I'm planning on taking this and doing some outdoors things with it, maybe some short walks, hikes, take my ATV, my four-wheeler out, and, get a little bit wild and rough with it to see how it holds up outdoors, but then also taking this with me into the gym, doing some mild gym work. I'm still recovering from some illness, so I will be going into the gym and doing some workouts, doing some cardio exercises and things of that nature to see how this holds up, see how accurate it is. Got another question here. Do you know any watch that gets heart rate underwater? Well, honestly, a Garmin and Apple within the last, if you get any watch that's been released by Garmin or Apple within the last year, the optical heart rate sensors on them are okay underwater, not great. My recommendation is still, if you truly want accurate heart rate underwater, you're going to have to probably get a Garmin device that is compatible with Garmin's underwater chest strap. So Garmin makes an underwater chest strap. So does Polar. The Polar H10 chest strap is also waterproof. And I believe even the Polar H10, which I own, also has built-in data storage so that it can store that heart rate data and then sync with the watch data after your workout. So you may not have the heart rate data in real time, but then when you're done working out, all of that data would synchronize on the app. But yes, if Garmin and Apple both have sort of quasi-reliable optical heart rate sensors that would work for like pool exercises. But again, I'm not satisfied to the point where I feel like I can recommend them as something that would be reliable data for you to really, have confidence in. It will give you somewhat reliable information. But again, if you want truly reliable information underwater, you're going to have to go with a chest strap that communicates with an app or your watch to collect that data, if that makes sense. Tony's asking here, has the phone app for the watch been improved? I don't know. It's been a while. It's been probably a year now since I used the Amazfit app. I've had 2 Amazfit watches that I personally have used and bought prior to this watch. And I've either sold or given those away to friends and family. I had a friend of mine that had, I believe it was an Amazfit watch that had a curved display that I was going to review a couple months ago, but I had such a bad experience with it that I was like, I'm not even going to bother review. Like, it was just such a disappointing experience that I didn't even feel the need to continue the review, and my heart just couldn't get into it. It's really hard to get a product sometimes that is disappointing and then spend significant amount of time with it to do a review where it's disappointing. But it was unfortunately an Amazfit watch with the curved display. They were trying to do something kind of novel, something kind of different. And I just didn't think that it was well executed. That said, Amazfit in the past has released other GPS sports watches similar to this that, in my opinion, were fantastic watches and good alternatives to Garmin. And so, yeah, take that for what it's worth. It's not a Garmin watch. Like it's Garmin is still, in my opinion, one of, if not the leader in terms of wearables that are out there, especially for those of you who are into outdoor GPS based activity, which honestly isn't really a lot of what I do for my own personal health and fitness. I tend to like gym-based activities, CrossFit style, boot camp style, weightlifting style exercises. That's my personal preference. And that said, the Amazfits, I've been pleased with them even in that context. But really, this watch is geared more towards the outdoor enthusiast, the person that's going for bike rides, that's jogging a lot, that's going for hikes, that's taking this kayaking. And that's why they've put 100 plus sports profiles on this watch. They're trying to compete with Garmin. When you buy a Garmin watch, you're getting these watches that have dozens and dozens of sports profiles to track just about any exercise you can think of. And that's what they're trying to do here with this T-Rex Pro. They're directly, in my opinion, aiming right at Garmin and saying, hey, we can make a watch that's got all of the same features, maybe cut a few of them out for sure. Garmin watches always feel like they come with 1,000 features and you use maybe like 10 of them. And so they've really stripped down, I think, Garmin, the kind of the Garmin concept to its essentials, and then offer this to you at a really good price point of $179. So again, I bought it with my own money, and I'm hoping that I really like it, because, it's still $179. The cheaper version was $110, and I thought about kind of going with the cheaper version, but it only had about, like I said, I think what they say here, like a dozen sports profiles, I think. Like 12, what do they say here? 14 sports profiles versus the 100 plus that this has. So they're saying here that this one with the extended with the extra GPS and extra features, you're actually losing 2 days worth of battery life. So the original T-Rex, they said, had 20 days worth of battery life. This one, according to their website here, is being advertised with 18 days battery life. That said, they are saying here that if you're using it for activities and with typical usage, you'll get about 9 days. Or with GPS continuously working, you'll have 40 hours. So, for example, if you were to go on a multi, like a camping trip where you were going to hike multiple days, keep in mind that GPS use on this does tap out the battery rather quickly. So if you go on a trip, this will have up to 40 hours worth of GPS use, and 9 days worth of life with heavy usage is what they're saying. And with light usage, probably turning off certain features, you'll get up to 18 days worth of battery life. And my guess is probably, even when they say 9 days, it's probably closer to 7. That said, charging a watch once a week, that's not bad. That's not too bad in my opinion. That's pretty impressive. So I'm happy with that. But yeah, sorry, Tony, that's a long way to answer your question. I don't know if they've improved the app or not. I hope they have. And I hope this watch is better than the last Amazfit that I reviewed, and I hope it's more like the two previous to it that I reviewed. So yeah, that's about all I've got for you guys, unless you guys have other questions and stuff. I've got other stuff in the works, other products and stuff on order, but I'm trying to kind of dip my toes back into the fitness wearable world, since that's kind of what this whole channel was originally based off of. It's just been, my health has taken a turn for the worse the past couple of months, and still I just got off all of my antibiotics and all this stuff for my lung issues that I was having with pneumonia last week, and I've already did one workout last week, and then I felt like it kind of kicked my butt for like 2 days. Took me like 2 or 3 days to recover from that workout. That was late last week. And so now I'm hoping here that I've kind of recovered from that to be able to start dipping my toes back into the gym again and review this for you guys. So that's about all I've got. I appreciate everyone who tuned in live. It's been a while, and it's good to see that there's still a few people that will tune in live. And I've got this new fancy setup now with this switcher here and my audio interface and my computer and multiple cameras. So I hope you guys like this new interface. I want to do unboxing videos like this now, where I can, show you guys, all the cool toys with a couple of cool cameras, and kind of streamline everything and make it a little bit more professional. So again, thanks for tuning in. Somebody's saying here, blood glucose on the Galaxy Watch 4. Yeah, I mean, that's impressive. I'm really enjoying seeing all the new metrics that everyone is trying to tap into, like blood glucose and all of that. I felt like for a while, everybody was getting kind of stuck on heart rate variability and blood oxygen saturation, O2 sensors. And honestly, they weren't doing a whole lot to improve on either one of those two sensors. We haven't really seen accurate O2 readings, with the exception of the Apple Watch, and we haven't really seen great heart rate variability, with the exception of a few devices like the Oura Ring, which I'm wearing, which is one of the few devices that I would really say does a good job with heart rate variability. So it's exciting to see, new metrics like blood glucose become a new metric. Now, that said, in my opinion, the first time I ever hear of a new metric kind of being introduced, like, hey, look, we can track this new metric. I'm like, awesome. That's great. That's going to heat up competition. And then Garmin and Apple are going to get involved, and they'll definitely, try to tackle those metrics as well. That said, the first few iterations and products that come out with those new metrics tend to be not super reliable. So, I'm I'm glad that Samsung is kind of like, hey, we're going to be the first to dip our toes with this blood glucose sensor and data. Good for them. I also am kind of skeptical a little bit of like, thinking to myself, like, I'll believe that when I see it. Like I'll trust that it's actually accurate and reliable once, a bunch of reviews have come out with people testing it. So yeah. Hey, thanks, Tony. Yeah, I'm starting to feel better, feeling stronger every day. This last year has taken a big toll on my health. And so I really honestly feel like I've got a long way to go to get back to where I was. I'm watching videos of where I was like a year or two ago and in the physical shape that I was in. And it's like almost depressing because I'm like, gosh, I'm running this channel that's about like health. Well, I mean, it's about technology, but dips its toes, in health and fitness. And here I am, not healthy and not fit. So, looking forward to kind of journeying back into the gym with some reviews. And so something like this is a good motivator to get me back into the gym and to, kind of carefully, strategically begin to do some of those things again without overdoing it and then putting myself in bad health again. So, but yeah, thanks again for watching, everybody. Again, really do appreciate everybody tuning in on the live stream. It means a lot. And that's about it. That's all I've got for now. But you can leave your comments after this video is done. Leave your comments below, and I'll try to respond to them as I have time. But thanks for watching. My name's Eric. I'm the Techie Agent. We'll catch you guys next time.